How do you value ungraded vintage sports cards? Imagine holding a piece of sports history in your hands, but wondering what it's really worth. That's what valuing ungraded vintage sports cards is all about. When a card isn't professionally graded, it's like trying to judge a book by its cover. You need to look closely at several factors to get a good idea of its value. First, condition is king. You want to honestly assess the card's corners, edges, centering, and any print flaws. A card with sharp corners and centered images will usually fetch more. But be aware that your eye can sometimes be fooled. A card might look fine but have subtle flaws that only a professional grader would notice. For example, a vintage card that looks good might only be worth a small fraction of what it would be if graded higher. Next, do some research on recent sales. Online marketplaces like eBay are your best friends here. Search for the same card in similar condition and check the prices of completed sales. This gives you a real idea of what buyers are paying. You can also use paid databases that track auction results and sales trends over time. These tools help you see if prices are rising or falling for your type of card. Many collectors and dealers consider professional grading because it can boost a card's value. For star players like Jackie Robinson or Willie Mays, a good grade can make a big difference. Grading services charge around $15 to evaluate a card, and if the card grades well, its worth can increase significantly. Some collectors prefer to keep their cards ungraded because they like the raw, authentic look, or they're unsure about grading results. Dealers sometimes hold ungraded cards because certain buyers want them in that condition. When you're figuring out what your card is worth, think about the net amount you'd get after fees. Selling through an auction house might net you about 80% of the final price. Selling to a dealer could mean only 10% of the card's estimated graded value. For example, if you believe your vintage card could grade a PSA 8, look up recent sales of PSA 8 cards of the same type. Then, apply the appropriate percentage for your selling method to estimate what you'll actually receive. Start by honestly assessing your card's condition without bias. Use multiple sources to verify prices and trends. Think about whether grading might be worth the cost based on the potential increase in value. Remember, a card in top condition can be worth many times more than one in average shape. The key is to be realistic and thorough in your research. Valuing ungraded vintage sports cards takes patience and attention to detail. By comparing recent sales, considering grading options, and calculating your net proceeds, you can set fair prices and make smarter decisions about your collection.